The NASCAR Chicago Street Race has been the only news buzzing this past weekend. But why? Well, the NASCAR Street Race has always been the most anticipated event on the racing calendar, and interestingly, Chicago was chosen to host the race this year. This just shows that the fun never stops. We bring to you today one of the most breathtaking highlights of the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. Starting from day one, don't move an inch as we uncover every exciting part of the highlights in this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for regular updates, and with that, let's begin. On the 6th and 7th of July 2024, the NASCAR Chicago Street Race took place, and it happened around the iconic Grand Park. The excitement of the NASCAR Chicago Street Race turned Chicago's streets into a thrilling racetrack, necessitating the closure of extensive streets and the implementation of reroutes. Fans flocked everywhere in the city over the long 4th of July holiday weekend, and with the NASCAR event, tons of amazing views, roaring engines, and a beautiful atmosphere, it is truly a weekend to remember. So, moving into the beginning of the highlights, day 1 began with the 50-lap loop 110 NASCAR Xfinity Series race. And this kickoff amazed all fans as drivers were navigating through the 12-turn, 2.2-mile course. Now, this can't be left out. Among these highlights is an incredible performance that was achieved by Shane van Gisbergen, and he dominated this track and secured a victory. He won this in the Xfinity Series race, and the stage became set for what was promised to be an equally thrilling Cup Series that took place on Sunday. During the Xfinity Series race, Van Gisbergen started on the pole before dropping back after a pit stop. However, he made his way through the field pretty quickly before pulling away for the victory, and as expected, Van said the race was pretty wild at the end and that the race was still great. Now, the 35-year-old New Zealand native Van Gisbergen won his first 2 Xfinity wins for a colleague on road courses at Portland and Sonoma on consecutive weekends in the previous month. And just like the way he has always done for his previous victories, he celebrated his current victory by autographing a rugby ball and then kicked it into the stands in Chicago. Surprisingly, Van Gisbergen being popular hasn't always been the case. The 3-time champion in Australia's supercars wasn't popular, and he was unknown in the US before he won the last NASCAR rainy inaugural weekend on the downtown Chicago course, which is incredible. After this, he became the first ever driver in history to win his Cup Series since Johnny Ruth Rutherford in the second qualifying race at Daytona in 1963. Moving on, fans all over the world gathered to witness all of the live-action pack of the Chicago race, and the atmosphere was electric. Kay Lewis, who is a NASCAR rookie, described this excitement perfectly with his comments. However, for some people, this was their first time watching a NASCAR race, and neither did the city disappoint, as the event was nothing short of expected. In addition to this excitement, there were a bunch of unique freestyle motocross events, and various drivers were also excited to showcase their skills by performing jaw-dropping tricks that would leave the fans amazed. But what created this excitement wasn't just the racing. The event also included a star-studded lineup of various live music performances. On that Saturday, the concerts held in Grand Park included stunning performances by blues legend Buddy Guy, the Black Keys, and last but not least, the Chainsmokers, which was amazing. The concert took place at the DraftKings main stage, and interestingly, if we go back to the previous year, the Chainsmokers couldn't perform due to severe weather. But now in 2024, they made a triumphant return by energizing the crowd with their amazing performance. As day 1 wrapped up, it became very obvious that the NASCAR Chicago race was going to be an overwhelming success. And it's been a powerful comeback for NASCAR after all of the weather issues that happened last year, and everyone was impressed by the entire experience. Moving on to day 2, more excitement came with the main event as the Cup Series Grand Park 165 began. And on this day, the 75-lap race was held and drivers kept on pushing their limits on the challenging course. Now that Shane van Gisbergen won the Xfinity Series race, he automatically became the fan favorite, but other drivers like Larson, who successfully secured the 3rd position in a qualifying round, gave Shane stiff competition, and not just that, Larson is now aiming for his 4th win of the season. If this is done, then it would be his 350th career Cup Series start. Larson posted an impressive lap time of 1 minute, 27.836 seconds, and he was almost able to beat Ty Gibb. Drivers drivers like Alex Bowman also added their comments to this Chicago Street course, and truly, this course is unlike any other type. It requires a lot of skill and strategy to attain victory, and there is no room for error. Now let's talk about what the playoffs held. The Sunday race was for sure the most important, and anything done that day would always be significant. Because with Martin Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, and Alex Bowman fighting for the playoff spots of the last 5 in this race, the pressure was intense, and this only added excitement to the race. Chris Buescher, who experienced a bad time earlier in this season, came out to express the determination he has for the event, and he claimed that the drivers in this race are very close to where they need to be to not have a point conversation whatsoever. Interestingly, before the Sunday event at Grant Park 165, there was another concert lineup, so fans would be able to enjoy more live music. There were different performances from different artists such as Lauren Alaina and Keith Urban. Keith's performance was set to be done at 1 p.m. because at this time, such a performance would draw huge crowds, which would then set the stage for the coming racing action. Now here's where it gets better. The weekend race also allowed local talent and several drivers with local connections to shine, because they also participated in the race, and the fact that drivers from Chicago were also participating just adds a hometown type of flavor to the event. We have drivers like Chicago's own Andre Castro also competing in the Xfinity Series, while Justin Allgaier is from Riverton, Illinois. Also, Sam Mayer from Franklin, Wisconsin participated in the In the Loop 110 race. It doesn't stop there, there's more. Josh Bilicki, who hails from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, raced in both events, and he proudly represented the Midwest. As said earlier, the tour of the NASCAR Street Race course, which happened on Tuesday, showed that massive concrete barriers have been made to map the racetrack, and steel stands have started to come together, which will also act as a barricade during the race. However, more than 100 kids were able to play pit crew, and they were also able to learn about NASCAR at a Boys and Girls Club event. After that, the kids were given free tickets to the racing event, and this is the first time that will happen out of all the numerous NASCAR racing events that have taken place in the past. The Navy Piers NASCAR Family Fest also started that night on Tuesday, and as always, it is a 2-day celebration of all things racing. It's important to note that the impact of the NASCAR Chicago Street Race goes beyond just the track, because this event is a unifier. It unifies Chicagoans and so many visitors alike, including Michelle Briffer, who is a visitor from Michigan, have come out to say that this Chicago event has brought people from all walks of life together. Not only that, but Chicagoans and the rest of the country are also included, and this type of unity is what everyone needs. Finally, with an event like the 2024 NASCAR Chicago Street Race, fans will always look forward to when this event will happen again, and with a driver like Van Gisbergen expressing his joy that winning 2 races is a dream come true, and that Chicago has been an incredible host, he can't wait for it to come back next year, and this just proves that the NASCAR Street Race has proven to be one of the most important street races in the world. Thank you for joining us today to view the highlights of the 2024 NASCAR Chicago Street Race. Indeed, it has been an amazing journey, and this past weekend has been a celebration of true skill, passion, and most importantly, the vibrant spirit of Chicago. Whether you are just new to the world of NASCAR racing, or you are a lifelong fan, we hope that you enjoyed this amazing experience. Share your thoughts about the highlights of the NASCAR race in the comment section below, subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Hit the notification bell so you can tune in whenever we upload a brand new video. Stay tuned for more racing highlights and unforgettable moments. Keep your spirits high until next time, see you in another video.